I had been in an abusive relationship with my husband for years. Not just physically abusive, but mentally, emotionally, psychologically, financially. And there came a turning point where he got physical with myself and almost got physical with my son. That's when I knew that we had to leave. Me and my son fled up here to Washington, where I have family, and left everything, all of our belongings.
Christine had experienced some pretty severe physical and emotional abuse throughout the course of a fairly long relationship. It didn't seem like she felt anyone really believed her that this was happening to her. Important thing for me was to make sure that she felt heard and believed and understood.
Right after we moved, my husband was constantly contacting me and contacting my son. I had to do something to stop him. And so that's when I went and I started the process of a restraining order.
The process of trying to get a protection order, so many people are going through it on their own. And so the legal system tries to make it fairly friendly. But the reality is that it's not really as friendly as it should be, or as friendly as lawmakers think it is.
I went through the process of filling out all this paperwork on my own, and it was so confusing and it was so emotional. The court system just isn't set up for a normal person that doesn't know the law.
ELAP provides free legal aid to survivors of domestic violence in King County. One of the big challenges about Christine's case was it was a fairly contentious protection order where she had filed for a protection order and then her ex-partner had also filed in retaliation for a protection order. So she was dealing with both trying to get her own protection order and protect her and her child. Both parties had filed hundreds of pages of documents. I think it was just sort of overwhelming. I had to sift through with her and be like, this is the way it works. This is what's important. This is what we need to focus on.
My son's a teenager. He has special needs. He has autism. I think his autism makes him an extraordinary person. My son's biological father passed away when he was 2, so my husband was only his stepdad. I'm his guardian, I'm his custodial parent. My husband had always weaponized my son against me and told me if I ever left him that he would call CPS. He would use every penny he had to get my son taken away from me. That's what kept me stuck in that situation for so many years. But it got to a point where I realized that, you know what, I'm a good mom, I'm not doing anything wrong, and this isn't healthy for my son, so we have to go.
I think the entire time she was clearly deserved a protection order, and he clearly was doing this out of retaliation. And that was one of the big challenges, was just making sure that she understood that just because someone's being loud doesn't mean they're right.
I felt very vulnerable at first when I didn't have a lawyer. And as I'd watch all the other court cases, I noticed that clients that didn't have lawyers, that they weren't really listened to and they weren't heard and they were kind of just pushed through and it went really quick. I felt very safe when I did have Evan. I was heard then.
ELAP's one of the few places that's really doing this kind of work and making a difference in our county. And I think it not only helps the survivors and the clients you're assisting, but it also extends to the rest of your community. You want to ensure that you're living in a county, in a community where this kind of thing isn't happening and that people feel safe and protected.
I can't thank ELAP enough. I mean, the work they do is amazing. They've changed my life. I'm really proud of how far me and my son have come. For the first time in his life, this whole school year, he's gotten all straight A's. It hasn't been easy at times, but it's been worth it. It's been worth every second of it. We've come a long way.